Skipping the intro, you already know what time it is. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another random recap. In this video, I will be once again giving y'all another mock draft. In the last video, I did a pre-free agency, which free agency was definitely something. Trades were made, signings were signed, a lot of things happened. So a lot of picks have been changed for the draft. Some stay the same, others move up, and others move down. So this is my post-free agency mock draft. It doesn't take rocket science to explain how this video is going to work. I'm going to go through each pick, number 1 all the way through 32, and I'm going to tell you who I believe they select and why. Quick disclaimer before we do get into the video. I am not a professional, by all means. This is a mock draft. You are meant to disagree with me. It's okay to disagree. If you believe a team should have went this instead, please let me know down below in the comments. I really want to see what y'all think of what your official mock drafts look like. I put a lot of time into this, so I would appreciate it if you gave it your listen. All I do ask is if you are new here, please subscribe. It does help the channel and does get my name out there more. With all that being said, let's get into the 2026 NFL mock draft. And with the first overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza. Well, paint my ass red and call me a fire truck. Raiders go quarterback. This is shocking. You should really see the look on my face. Never in a million mock drafts could I have predicted something like this. Talk about a pick. Wow. Was not expecting this move or them going quarterback at all. Definitely not obvious. Raiders go Mendoza number 1. With the second pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Arvell Reese. Like the Raiders pick, I just don't see anything else happening here too. You can make an argument for David Bailey and I'm gonna hear you out, but if you ask me, I still have to go Arvell Reese just like everybody else is doing with their mock. The ceiling he projects is undeniable. Teams would kill to get this guy on their team. Even at his floor, he's still at best an explosive game changer off the edge. For the Jets, it gives this defense what they need, a piece they can finally build around. All signs point to Arvell Reese, and until something tells me they're not going Arvell Reese, which will probably be draft night itself, I had the Jets going Arvell Reese at number 2. And with the third overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Francis Mauigoa. For starters, this team is levels, and I mean levels, of fuck. To where it's not even funny anymore. I genuinely think they are running this team like a poorly ran money laundering scheme. You actually mean to tell me your quarterback battle is going to be between Gardner Minshew and Jacoby Brissett? I don't know who looked at this and said, yeah, this is a quality matchup. You need to be fired and shot out back. If they draft someone, sure, this is going to look like an overreaction. But for the chance they are serious and Minshew was the best they could do for this room, you are so fucked. So yes, I'm still standing on my ground saying they go tackle. I don't care which quarterback it is of the senior citizens they decide to start, I'm going to get you the best protection possible to make sure you can last longer than 5 weeks. Will it matter? Not for this franchise, absolutely not. It's not like they're going to touch the playoffs, but I still want to at least make sure you can make it to next week. You ask me, Arizona, please do not play either. I'd rather watch Carson Beck, and I don't like that guy, but yes, when I would rather watch him over these two, that says something. Take him later, take Simpson, or at worst, Nussmeier, just somebody. And regardless who that somebody be, they'll be pretty glad to know we got them not 1, but 2 tackles ready on each side to defend like their lives depend on. They can also go defense, which I wouldn't be opposed to, but the fact that I don't even know who my quarterback is tells me whoever it is, we should get them the setup they need to be comfortable if we want a chance of winning 5 more games this year. God, that sounds miserable to say out loud. But the fact that 5 wins sounds like the maximum for this team just says they are in rebuild mode 100%. I don't know what this year is going to look like, and I really don't want to know what it's going to look like. Arizona goes tackle at number 3. And with the 4th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Jeremiyah Love. I wasn't completely sold too much at the thought of the Titans going running back because they still do have other needs that can be addressed here, like the edge position in David Bailey or even Rueben Bain, whichever you prefer. But seeing teams like the Saints, Chiefs, Washington signing running backs in free agency, specifically the first 2 I mentioned, ETN to the Saints, or should I say Achan to the Saints, and K9 to Kansas City, the 2 hotspots Love was favored. It's not like those are great signings, don't get me wrong, both are fantastic backs. It's just, if you knew you could land Jeremiyah Love in the draft, why pay all that money when the potential is here with a much younger option, who could be just as great, if not even better? Hell, he's arguably the best offensive piece here in the draft entirely. Then it clicked in my head, oh shit, they do not expect him to fall that low. The Saints or the Chiefs, they know something we don't. Now, it could just be them wanting a back who's already proven and they weren't planning on him anyways, But you can't tell me it's odd. They both went after the best options available as if they know Love will not be around for long. And for the chance that idea is real, that leaves them here, Arizona, which I doubt, or even Washington if the Titans pass up. But if you are the Titans, you really gotta ask yourself, how can you pass on pairing up a talent like this with Cam Ward? Sure, they have Pollard, but someone to grow and build alongside your franchise man. Next year's draft, somebody like Love does not exist. Can guarantee that now. Next year's free agency, most of the top options that are expected to hit the market will get extended. I can promise that. So it's really Jeremiyah Love or trying someone else if you don't re-sign Pollard or Spears, which, keeping it a buck, I sure as hell would not if my choices are between a 20-year-old superstar for the next 4 to 5 years, possibly beyond that, or paying two mediocre choices with one of those nearing 30 years old and already in talks of being released. It's really about the best chance they have at providing this offensive run game that could truly be unstoppable. Look at Detroit, look at Atlanta, Buffalo, Miami, Indianapolis, Baltimore, just other teams with premium backs and how easily they can take over a game and how much pressure they can take off your quarterback. It's a pick that's ready to go now and will have a strong impact upon arrival, and for the chance he fails, so be it. But I hate to be in a spot like this, pass up on the guy and he goes to lead the league in rushing yards somewhere else. It's gonna be like, damn, we could have really had that here. You need help scoring, you need explosiveness, Love brings it all, and I think it's the pick here at number 4. And with the 5th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Sonny Styles. Let me just say, I'm a Giant fan of the Tremaine Edmonds signing. Love it. Amazing move. I mean, they all together. Giants had themselves a really good free agency. Now, that being said, my mind still doesn't change. Sonny Styles is not falling past number 5. Not only because Harbaugh loves his linebackers, but the upside itself is undeniable. A guy with his size, speed and instincts running the middle like he does. It's only a matter of time before he's an all-pro. Only way I do not see it happening, which is understandable, is if it's Caleb down. Anybody else but these two, you better have one hell of an explanation. Both guys are easy franchise pieces that are gonna turn this defense around, so it's really gonna come down to draft night to see what they do. But in my opinion, if I was in the draft room, I'm telling him it's gotta be Sonny Styles at number 5. And with the 6th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Carnell Tate. As of now, nothing has been done to tell me this team has a true answer at the wide receiver 1 position. 1 week later, newsflash, Jerry Jeudy still sucks, Tillman ain't it, and Isaiah Bond at his best as a qualified wide receiver 2. Beyond these 3 jackoffs, I don't think it gets any better than this, and that's the concern itself. This room right here is horrible. If you want to find out what standards are made of, as I said in the last mock draft, you gotta get him a playmaker so you can have that fair evaluation before you throw the guy to the curb saying he sucked. Of course he did, look at what he's throwing to. So why not just get him the best wide receiver this class has to offer if your money can't do it already? Not only that, but Tate's already familiar with the area, so might as well as keep him in Ohio and make him the cornerstone piece they could use for building in the future. That future being maybe Sanders himself, Ty Simpson, or some quarterback from the 27 class. You won't have to worry about a wide receiver then when you do it here at 6. So unless they know they can get Denzel Boston or maybe KC later on, or in the next couple weeks they sign somebody like Stephon Diggs, Juwan Jennings, fucking even Brandon Ayuk. Just anybody really, just give Sanders a weapon he can rely on. I still have the Cleveland Browns taking Carnell Tate at number 6. And with the 7th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select David Bailey. Commanders had themselves a pretty solid opening week, addressing a decent amount of their concerns, signing not just 1 edge rusher, not 2, but 3, as well as a corner of my boy Leo Chanel, who I wish we kept. Letting him walk is going to be a big mistake. But overall, not bad if you ask me. All I'm waiting for really is just that Brandon Ayuk signing to give Daniels a familiar face. The cherry on top. But besides that, very good, so I can say they're definitely in a wildcard spot, which can go a lot of ways if they feel Downs could be the move. I would not question it. Carnell Tate, he's still on the board coming day to the actual draft. I do think they'll give that a consideration. Bailey or Bain, if both are here, to establish long-term growth at the position. Jeremiyah Love, which isn't impossible to rule out. Or even Sonny Styles if he's here at 7, which I think if he's here, it's just a no-brainer, gonna go with him. Lots of scenarios can happen. I've seen just about every mock draft have every player I just listed going here at this pick. Last video, I had them going Rueben Bain, but I think if both David Bailey and him are here, then it's just a matter of pick your poison. Either one be a great choice, you just gotta ask yourself a few questions like 1. Do the measurables bother you, and who do you believe possesses the higher ceiling as a pass rusher? Again, you can't go wrong with either, but in my eyes, Bailey's gonna be the pick here at number 7. And with the 8th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Rueben Bain Jr. So with Cam Jordan not coming back next season, just entirely leaving the game of football itself, the Saints got themselves a hole they need to fix. And with all the big names of free agency already being locked down, they might have to rely on the draft to fill his cleats. Originally, I had hopes they would somehow, and I mean somehow, land Trey Hendrickson. And then I would have to go on Jeremiyah Love here at 8. But for this mock, since both those things are not playing out and they already have a running back, I had them taking the remainder of David Bailey and Rueben Bain. If you saw the merch mock, you know how I feel about Bain already. Short arms, but a fucking machine of a player. From the moment that ball snaps to the whistle being blown, he's hell-bent on causing destruction and will throw everything he's got your direction. Especially against the run. He is a straight-up tone setter. Again, I plan to cover him more in the next video when I eventually go over edge rushers. For the Saints, you really can't afford to pass on a guy like this. Call him a T-Rex all you want, something that tells me a lot of teams are going to be eating crow when he's turning shit upside down. Actually, let me put it in a better way so you can understand it. Either you take him or Kansas City will at 9. Mark my words, if they do not, Chiefs will happily skip their ass to the podium to turn in this card. And giving the Chiefs Bain Jr. is like giving the Eagles a absolute superstar. You don't want to do that. No offense to Eagles fans, but that's how you set a team up for years. Bring in Bain Jr., let him add his violent energy towards the front and become this presence they've been missing and will be missing completely now that Jordan's actually gone. He won't do the same stuff as probably year 1, but he will bring the same amount of fight and a motor that never stops. Saints go Bain Jr. at number 8. And with the 9th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Jordan Tyson. Now, am I completely confident we go receiver and give Mahomes the star he desperately needs? No. I'm not fully confident because knowing this team, we're probably going to go between Downs and Delane. Delane just because the Rams robbed our entire corner room, at least what it feels like, which great for them, but concerning for us. As I said in the last video, I was banking at the thought of re-signing Jalen Watson, so it was all good. Yeah, fuck me sideways, that sure as hell didn't happen. So Delane here wouldn't shock me. Downs, simple, he's elite, we lost Brian Cook, although we did bring in Gilman from the Ravens, so I'm not too worried at the position, but if you ask me personally, I would love the move adding star talent to the receiving room that's in a huge need for a wide receiver 1. I explained it more last video, but I don't think Rice is worth the trouble he brings. Worthy is a great second option. Thornton I love bringing back, but I'm just not sure we're going to use him the way we should. It's a reason why I didn't think he was going to come back anyway. Like, nobody here gives me that feeling, oh yeah, we can fuck up this team's secondary, or that we can go score for score in an absolute shootout. This score screams, let's do the bare minimum and kick for 3 points. We already missed out on free agency. We cannot afford to miss out on the draft either. So I have a snag in Jordan Tyson to address one of our largest needs. Tate's gone, and while I wouldn't mind Lemon here either, I want the potential Tyson brings, as long as he can just stay healthy. Plain and simple. I mean, how much worse can this core actually get? Therefore, it's the risk worth taking. Give me Tyson at number 9. And with the 10th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Caleb Downs. I'm still rocking with it. Bengals go Caleb Downs if he's here at 10. Injury talk or not, if that even checks out just a little bit, you're not passing on the best player in this class when your defense looked like this. They added a few pieces, especially at the position in Brian Cook, but let's be real for a minute. It's not enough, and you still need all the help you can get. With Downs, he's able to fix plenty of these problems all at once. He's got the elite instincts, he's physical, could cover, step into the run, line up deep, or in the slot and actually can finish plays. This is a day 1 impact type of guy who brings energy, leadership, and playmaking to a unit that's been lacking in all 3. My thoughts remain the same nearly 2 weeks later. Take Downs, plug him in, and let the defense shape itself around his talents as the centerpiece they desperately need if they want to turn things around. Him, Cook, and Battle. That's the trio I look forward to seeing. Bengals go Downs at number 10. With the 11th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Mekhi Lemon. Well, I was not expecting this. As I was recording this, breaking news dropped. The Dolphins traded the second receiver. I saw the headline and I was like, no fucking way they really did that. Broncos traded for Jalen Waddle, giving Miami the 30th pick in this year's draft. With that said, my sudden reaction was, who the fuck is Malik Willis throwing to? Jalen Tolbert What the hell is a Malik Washington and Terrence Marshall Jr. who's on what feels like his 20th team? I know I said the Browns team looked bad, but my god, this takes the cake. Like, I am fully aware, it is a rebuild. You gotta do what you gotta do, but damn, I did not think everything had to go. A-Chan's probably gonna be traded at this rate. So out with the old and in with the new, there you go, Makai Lemon. Well, they could take a receiver at 30 and set it here at 11 for the chances someone like Denzel Boston, Omar Cooper Jr. or Casey Concepcion might be available. If I was a Dolphins GM, I wouldn't waste any time filling that void Waddle leaves. And I'm snagging myself one of the big three. Whether that is Tyson, Lemon, both will do fine as the major upgrade a sorry-ass receiver room like this needs. If, of course they don't want to make it painfully obvious, yeah, we're tanking. I'm so sorry, Dolphins fans. I mean, I guess you gotta go through it all again. Tank for Tua? Yeah, how about March for Arch? It's got a nice ring to it. I'm practically arching it right now. I'm sure he's gonna appreciate when he's got Makai Lemon here to be throwing to instead of someone like a Jalen Tolbert. Dolphins got a receiver at number 11. Poor Malik Willis. Good enough to be a backup, but not great enough to be given a serious chance as a starter. If only he had 67 million reasons not to give a damn. And with the 12th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Mansour Delane. If Delane's here at 12, I'm telling you this is already going to be steal of the night. It's an automatic A+ in my book. Not because I can guarantee the success he'll have, but for the Cowboys, this is not supposed to happen at all. Every mock, you look at him, usually have Delane all gone by this point. Hell, I had him gone by 11 last video. So for the rare chance he's here, you're gonna be seeing Jerry Jones doing fucking backflips in the draft room while somebody dashes to the podium to announce, yeah, Cowboys just got the best corner of the class, who's going to be a massive upgrade to this secondary that was getting cooked alive almost every other week. Delane's elite at press coverage, uses punches and slides to mess with releases at perfect timing, has smooth hits plus efficient footwork that allows him to stick to receivers like glue, can read the field crazy fast, can cover man, slide into short zones, and can even chase deep with top end speed. The true definition of lockdown and will not let anything fly. And for Dallas, they better lock down this pick if it happens. Will it? Not entirely sure. A lot of teams above them could also use it, but in my messed up mock draft, Dallas gets their wish. Cowboys go Delane at number 12. And at the 13th pick, Los Angeles Rams select Spencer Fano. I'm a bit odd when picking for the Rams because, well, it's the Rams. They have basically everything for almost every position, and if they didn't, you can bet your bottom dollar they went and got it anyways. So it's tough to say what's a need when you look so good. I'm already considering you a Super Bowl favorite. If I had to pick something at the top of my head, I say getting another big tackle for the future wouldn't be such a bad idea. Especially since Havenstein announced his retirement back in February. It'd be a surprise, I know that for sure, because knowing the Rams, they wouldn't add a wide receiver here before they go tackle in the first. When it's the second best tackle out of the class, you gotta at least consider the possibility of Fano, his versatility, and if he can become the team's future lockdown piece on the right side. Blocking not just for Stafford, but for who comes after. I doubt it happens, but an investment towards the trenches with the right guy can go a long way. Rams go Spencer Fano at 13. And with the 14th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Vega Ioane. Nearly 2 weeks later, and shockingly, I didn't fuck up the pick after all. If you're wondering what I mean by that, in the first mock, I still had them going Vega. Raiders traded Crosby for this exact pick, and I put in the comments this already aged horribly, because I finished the video before the trade was even finalized. Fast forward 2 weeks later, the trade falls apart due to some shady ass deal where the Ravens failed Crosby on purpose just to send him back and sign Trey Hendrickson. So in return, they get the 14th pick after all, but I still believe they go Vega to pair with the newest addition, John Simpson, who just signed a 3-year contract opening week, to not only give Lamar the protection he needs, but to also set the tone for this run game. They got some pretty big cleats to fill in the line. Baltimore goes interior at number 14. And with the 15th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Akeem Mesidor. Fast forward nearly 2 weeks later and not signing a single edge rusher in free agency, yeah, I still have him going Mesidor. Matter of fact, it doesn't even have to be him, just the best available edge at this pick. If it was up to me, it would have to still be Mesidor, because Falk is just the guy you're betting on the potential and hoping the production eventually comes along. Not a bad pick, but one that feels a bit too high when somebody like Mesidor is still on the board. Cashy as hell. Arms are way too short. I know I said Bain, it doesn't really matter because Bain is still a menace, but But when Hal has shorter arms and Bane's already one hell of a concern, it's not something I want to take you with a first round pick. TJ Parker, maybe, but I don't think he goes before Mesidor, same with Zion Young. The only thing I'm not huge on with Mesidor, of course, is he's old in NFL terms, but out of the names I just mentioned, I think he's the most ready to go option now that's going to come in day one and set the edge straight away. I talked about it more in the last mock draft since the pick stays the same, but nothing changes here at 15, Buccaneers go edge rusher. With the 16th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Peter Woods. In a world where the actual NFL Draft is as screwed up as mine is, none of the big three receivers fall here at 16. So instead, I had the Jets sticking to simpler plans rather than taking the next best receiver, which would feel like a reach because taking Boston at 16, kind of one of those decisions. And that's continuing to load up on the defense. Quentin Williams, tough cleats to fill. Not going to be easy and probably won't happen anytime soon, but it wouldn't hurt to give it a try. And while Sweat brings toughness against the run, he just doesn't give up that interior pass rush presence Williams was given on a consistent basis. Woods, on the other hand, gives them that long-term pass rushing ability. He's explosive off the snap, lives to shoot through gaps, and causes problems in the pocket. The Jets really don't have that inside disruptor right now, so this is less about filling a hole at the moment, but setting yourself up for future success if development goes how it should. He'll come in, grow as the season goes, rotate in early, show off some of the flashes, and year 2 when it all clicks, you now have a legit 3 tech who's going to be living rent-free in your opponent's backfield with the amount of disruption he's going to cause. I like the fit. I wouldn't be shocked if they went McCoy or even Tyson or Lemon if any of them fall here 16. But for the chance they're both gone and they don't want to take the chance of McCoy, who a lot of teams are not going to be swinging his direction just because of the injury concerns, I have them adding Peter Woods to the trenches at 16. With the 17th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Monroe Freeling. The team signed Larry Borum for a year and called it a day. If that doesn't scream we're signing a young option later on to be eased in by this veteran, then I don't know what else this pickup tells me. They don't have a long-term solution at the left tackle position, and I'm more than enough confident to say it's not going to be Larry Borum. So turning their draft, I have them picking up Monroe Freeling, the freakishly gifted tackle out of Georgia who's rising up boards fast. Not only from his combine, but people are starting to come to their senses. Wait a minute, this guy could be really damn good. I've seen him even as high as number 6. So him falling in their laps will be a prayer well answered. He is here, they go Freeling. No debate whatsoever. It's a massive need, and he's arguably the best left tackle prospect in the class entirely with a whole lot of room left to grow. You want to approach finding Decker's replacement immediately? The best and cheapest way possible. This is how it's done. Lions go tackle number 17. And with the 18th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Dylan Thieneman. With the Hitman set to be released June 1st, no better time to get his replacement than with the 18th overall pick. Talk about a perfect fit. Even if he does return, not likely, but not impossible, he'd be a great veteran to have around and teach someone like Dylan when you take him with this pick. A versatile ball hawk with crazy athleticism ready to play wherever you need him. Without even needing to list more of him, it already sounds like a chess piece Brian Flores would be drooling over to have on his team. Thieneman's coming off a solid year where he was just everywhere stacking tackles, making plays, and coming through when it mattered most. The thing that stands out about him though is that he's got a clutch factor, no doubt about it. It might have not showed much at Oregon, but it did show a lot at Purdue. I mean, you look at the tape and behold, he's flying all over the field, whether he's coming downhill to stop the run or locking things up in coverage. And that's what makes the fit so clean. He's not one-dimensional. Flores can move him around, disguise looks, and really unlock more of that versatility. To sum it up, he's a badass do-it-all safety. And you bet the Vikings could use him if the Cowboys don't call his number, Rams, or really anybody else before this pick. If he doesn't go then, he's not falling anywhere past Minnesota. It's a top priority, and this is the best way to address it. Vikings go safety number 18. And with the 19th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Kenyon Sadiq. Originally, I had them going left tackle after the Ekwonu injury, but they hopped on that right away, signing Rasheed Walker to a 1-year deal, addressing the need perfectly. Not to mention my other interest here was CJ Allen, linebacker out of Georgia, considering before free agency was also a large need, until the Panthers once again tackled it perfectly by filling that hole with Jalen Phillips. So because these two spots are filled and there's just so much other talent they added in free agency that I haven't even named, I think they can afford to go the luxury pick with the best player available here at 19. So I had them selecting Kenyon Sadiq, the athletic freak out of Oregon who's a high upside tight end, who's an amazing receiver and excellent blocker, giving them the upgrade Bryce Young in his run game can easily benefit from. Like, what they have now isn't bad, do not get me wrong. Trimble's okay, Sanders can be decent, and Evans just exists. 3 good, okay options who are still young and deemed as passable. Like, it's not the end of the world if Panthers roll into next year with them. But taking into account this room combined for only 5 touchdowns and barely 750 yards, when you have guys like Loveland and Warren topping that individually in their first year in the NFL. Yeah, this room could definitely be much better. And after free agency, I think they can afford to go to fun pick here 19 to get Bryce an explosive target to add on to his already loaded arsenal of McMillan and Coker. This just gives them another weapon that can do it all. It worked once when they took McMillan last draft and people were like, oh, it's a crazy pick, you have other needs. Yet it ended up working out fine. What's to stop them from doing that again? That or go get Eli Stowers in the second round. Either way, I hope they add on at least one of these explosive talents. They are going to be a crazy addition wherever they land. I have the Panthers going Kenyon Sadiq, number 19. And with the 20th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select C.J. Allen. Man, wouldn't this be the dream scenario? Not only do they get the corner they've been drooling over, but then the linebacker they've also taken interest in. If this actually plays out this way, I don't give a shit they drafted a long snapper at every other pick for the remainder of the draft. This is already an A+ just off these 2 picks alone. This team really needs a linebacker, and of course, they didn't sign a single one come free agency, and I doubt they do building up towards the draft. So whether it's C.J. Allen, Sonny Styles had to trade up because Jerry Jones pulled something out of his ass to get up there, or even Anthony Hill Jr. later, some linebacker is going to become a Cowboy. In this case, it's C.J. Allen. They got the corner they've been needing earlier, man, sorted lane. Now they get a pure run stopping machine in Allen, who's going to haunt offenses from the middle. Like he's got a magnet in his head that pulls him to where the ball is every snap. He patiently waits it out, sees the play, and flies downhill to wherever it's located, ready to deliver a hit. Which at the time, the strength he has on his first contact brings down the runner instantly. But it's not just the physical side you gotta love, it's the IQ he presents. Just brilliant at times the way he's able to read blocking schemes fast. Not to mention he doesn't second guess a lot of his steps and consistently can put himself in the right spot. That's why the production is there. He's always involved and plays are being made. He's the type of guy you trust to run the defense from day one, and that's exactly what Dallas wants. They don't want just another body they can go find in free agency, they want a presence. A guy who can control the middle, clean things up, and bring stability to this defense. C.J. Allen sounds like the answer. Cowboys go linebacker, number 20. With the 21st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Caden McDonald. Free agency played out and a few things got answered while others didn't. Who would play second fiddle to DK Metcalf? Michael Pittman Jr., which was a fantastic pickup, and it means they don't have to force a wide receiver here at 21. Guard while losing their best man to Arizona, it's just not the strongest class to say, yeah, we can take the second best one here at 21, when you could probably grab that second or third best at the top of the second if lucky, where they had the 53rd pick. Once Vega is gone, that should really be it for guards in the first, unless you really like Pregnon from Oregon, which gets that early mid-second round value for me, with the highest chance going early around probably the Texans. So in other words, to spare you my rambling, not here unless it's Vega. Safety could also be the move, but if it ain't Dylan, it ain't it. The interior, Cam Hayward extended his contract by 1 year through 2027 for what seems to be his final ride. And once he retires, you're going to wish you had some depth on this roster to go alongside Derek Harmon, Benton, and Black, depending on who takes Hayward's spot. They like Banks, but with the foot injury, I'm sure that shoots him off all boards completely for the first round. And once Woods is gone, McDonald is next in line with a strong connection already to the team with Hayward himself and Jack Sawyer, so it's a fit that would get along with the team perfectly. With McDonald, the Steelers are swinging on a dude who's built like a tank that moves like he shouldn't. 330 pounds, yet his presence says otherwise. This man can move. He can chase and he can stay on the field all 3 downs. Just crazy. I usually don't find guys this big with a motor like that, and with even more development to become even better than he is already. Not saying he'll live up to Hayward's standards, but even if he can grow into a 3-down all-pro type lineman, that's a win itself, especially if Harmon also works out. Like, these two could be an absolute problem in the trenches. He's a target a lot of teams hope fall their direction, but unfortunately for those teams, I have the hype train stopping here at 21. Pittsburgh, he's all yours. Steelers go defensive tackle at number 21. And And with the 22nd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Keldrick Falk. Free agency hit this team like an absolute brick. Somewhat disappointing to say the least. Not the worst out there, but not anything that's like, whoa man, watch out for the Chargers. And the power of if man. Lot of changes to be made, and plenty have already happened in the last week or two. Like letting Odafe Ode walked onto the Commanders for a fat chunk of change. Chargers haven't extended Tulia, which I hope they get to doing as soon as possible because I would really hate to see him go. And Khalil Mack is probably on his last year. Hell, I thought 2025 was the last year as well, but I guess not. Return of the Mac it is. And while this type of leadership is still around, I would like to plug in someone like Keldrick Falk into this room to replace the production Odafe gave, but to also learn and develop on things like his pass rushing abilities, while still providing elite run stopping play. As I said in the last mock draft, he's like the Michael Williams in this class. Maybe not as high as a ceiling, but like Michael, he's still a work in progress to get to said ceiling. Production didn't match the talent in college, so it's a concern if he can even produce at the next level, but he's got an okay floor that offers enough to justify the pick. Main reason, however, lots of teams take interest is because the physical traits and versatility. With a ceiling that says pure monster. You try being a defensive coordinator here and yeah, this guy's 6'6", 276, and has an explosive combination of speed and raw power, not to mention a freakishly large wingspan and can line up anywhere you need him. You're definitely not going to pass on it. Like if everything clicks and he can take that next step to being a dominant pass rusher, it's wraps for the league. So with Falk, the potential is here, and it says he has what it takes to be one of the best in the league. It's just about getting there, which again, with leadership like Mac still around, I would definitely have him play year one, get a taste for the game, not completely having him filling big roles yet, and come back year two with that larger role and much better than before, prepared and ready to be trusted to be that guy alongside Tooley for this defense. What the investment, you ask me? Chargers go Keldrick Falk 22. And with the 23rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Caleb Lomu. I was hoping free agency would be where they address most of their concerns, but nearly 2 weeks later and nothing has been done about this aging O-line that can't seem to stay healthy. It's simple, football is one in the trenches, and this wall they've built over the last couple of years is breaking down and needs to be revamped now if they want to stay strong. And that's exactly what this pick is all about. Lane Johnson's getting up there in age, and unfortunately, you can't keep playing the game forever. I'm pretty sure if they could, they would still have fucking Jason Kelsey out there. So at some point, you need the next guy ready to go. Enter Caleb Lomu. Big frame, moves well, can line up on either side, plenty of potential with production that backs it up. Starting in 22 total games, allowing only 8 pressures, 6 quarterback hurries with no sacks given up on 357 pass protection plays. That kind of consistent protection, you take it anytime you can. Yes, he has his concerns. He's not exactly like his teammate Spencer Fano. Lomu needs to improve his play strength, no doubt about it, but that's why the fit makes so much sense. Your O-line hasn't fallen apart yet. Let him come in, learn behind Lane, build up that strength, and when it's time to turn it over, you're not panicking for an answer. You know who it is and you're ready for the transition. And God willingly, if an injury happens and he's thrown into the fire early, trust the process and let him grow as the game goes. Not the sexiest pick like an edge rusher would be here, but it's one you'll be damn happy you made, especially when it hits. If it does, problem solved. He's your man who's gonna hold it down year after year for who knows how long. It's just a smart investment. Eagles go tackle at 23. And with the 24th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Caden Proctor. After grabbing Tate at 6 to give him that true wide receiver 1, the Browns come right back to the trenches at 24. They already started reworking this offensive line for agency, bringing in new pieces like Titus Howard, getting DeJuan Jones back, but that shouldn't be where the work towards this line stops. The interior looks solid, the right side is serviceable, but again, as I said in the first one, the left side is just garbage. And that's where Caden Proctor comes in again. As a Crimson Tide fan myself, I said it in the first video, I'm not the biggest fan of Proctor, but I wouldn't question a team taking him late in the first. Like if you're seeing him on the field, you see how big this sumbitch really is. 6'7", 366 pounds, and with speed like his, yeah, no shit, it's wild to imagine what his potential could look like. He's got the size, strength, and that natural presence you just can't teach. What you do need to teach this guy, however, is perfecting his pass protection and cleaning up on his technique overall. It's good, but not what it can be with proper development. Like most players who need refinement, once it clicks, this is a massive cornerstone piece at the position. Worst case scenario, he's still a useful body you have on a cheap contract who can contribute towards the run game and hold it down up front. Browns get their left tackle at number 24. And with the 25th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, Chicago Bears select Zion Young. The Bears hit some needs in free agency like Kobe Bryant, Devin Bush, and Gallimore, but let's not ignore the obvious. The pass rush is still nowhere where it needs to be. They finished damn near bottom of the league in pressure, and outside of Sweat, no one really did anything off the edge. And still looking at its depth chart, it's not going to improve unless they add a piece to do so. They've tried to solve before, it just hasn't always worked, and at some point, unless you invest some serious money into it, you got to go the route of the draft, and that's where Zion Young slides in at 25, bringing exactly what you want in a young edge rusher. Big frame, 6'6", 262, long arms at 33 inches. He's got the non-stop high energy mindset, the type of guy who's bringing it every single snap, consistently at the same level of effort. He's strong at the point of attack, explosive first step, can set the edge, shed blocks, and straight up bully linemen with raw power. When Zion's able to get going, he can dog walk your best tackle backwards and collapse the pocket like it was nothing, stacking pressure after pressure. You know, stuff Chicago isn't used to really having. With Zion, he brings that. Now, of course, obviously, there's some concerns. I mean, you can't have a nice looking sports car without some issues. He's not exactly a finished product when it comes to his pass rush. The moveset isn't all the way there, and he's still figuring out how to consistently win clean against better tackles. But even with that, he's still creating pressure just off effort and strength alone, which for Chicago, the pressure he's able to create is a difference maker itself. So once development comes into the picture and he's at his ceiling, you have Sweat on one side, Young on the other, and a sitting duck at quarterback ready to be attacked from either side, with an interior that also doesn't fuck around. This is how you create an absolute unit for a defense. So even after free agency, the Bears going edge here just makes too much sense. If it ain't here, it's gotta be the second round. I would recommend Malachi Lawrence at that point, but if you go Zion here, you're not just adding a player, you're finally fixing a problem that's been sitting here for years. And with his tool set and motor, if they can develop him right, I mean, this shit's gonna hit like good crap. Bears go Zion Young, 25. And with the 26th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select TJ Parker. What the hell is up with the Bills and getting a new 30-year-old edge rusher every season that has injury concerns, blah blah blah, signed to a cheap contract, and then they end up leaving eventually? At some point, come on, this needs to stop. You need some youth that's actually going to be here after the next season or two, not get injured, and not just leave and open another void at the spot. They definitely have a type. But like most guys they sign, I'm sure this will age wonderfully. So despite the signing, I still have been going edge rusher, and for this mock draft 2.0 of mine, it's not Keldrick Folk this time, but TJ Parker, who weirdly fits exactly what they need. Good size, strong build, and he knows how to get after the quarterback, proven by his 21 total sacks over at Clemson the last 3 seasons. He's disruptive and constantly applying pressure, as the reports put it best. He's got the natural feel when it comes to rushing the passer. Whether it's from his power or non-stop effort every snap, because like the pick before him, Zion Young, he also has a motor that says, I never sleep. It's constant attack after attack, even if he isn't winning right away. He'll break you down until he does. Plug him in his defense, now you got a real threat coming off the edge, full of anger and power, ready to hit something. Parker will be the one offenses actually have to account for, the one who can take pressure off the rest of that front and make life easier for everyone behind him. With Parker, he might not be the flashiest pick after a down year at Clemson, but he's very effective, and I can tell you you're getting a playmaker who can come in and contribute right away. Not to mention he's got plenty more potential as he develops in this system. Take advantage of the Chubb signing. Have Parker learn under his presence to grow into a stronger defender so he can stop riding this defender carousel of injury-prone 30-year-olds every year. It's a no-brainer, really, for any edge rusher this position. Just in my eyes, TJ Parker fits the mold. Bills go edge rusher, number 26. And with the 27th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, San Francisco 49ers select Blake Miller. Free agency was pretty solid, in other words, for the Niners. Mike Evans, questionable signing. Christian Kirk, underrated pickup. Not the best moves, but it addressed the wide receiver concerns, so that eliminates the wide receiver pick here. And after that, O-line be next up in things that must be upgraded. So here we are, pick number 27. Blake Miller. Some might say it's a reach, but I like it, especially when he got questions looming with Trent Williams and what the hell's going to happen with him. From just the injuries to trade talks to potential retirement eventually. You need an answer now for the future, so rather than waiting for it to fall apart, waiting for him to just finally get off this team, they go and get their guy now and figure the rest out later. Miller getting a lot of experience with 4 proven years at Clemson. That kind of consistency matters for a team like the Niners that lives and dies in the trenches. The O-line goes, and well, shit, there goes everything else. It's the foundation that holds up this offense truly. He's got the size they need and moves exactly how someone in the system should, and that's not standing still with his hand up his ass, and that's getting out and making things happen. They want quickness and they want power. And of course, this isn't some Trent Williams replacement right now type of move. This is about versatility, adding real competition to the room, and having a guy you can trust to be ready when the moment comes. That's how you stay ahead, by building depth like this before you actually need it. This whole pick itself is just a giant investment. They can really go anything else. Cause Trent's still playing, so they ain't in a rush exactly, but stacking the trench is never a bad idea. Also taking into a factor, this is the Niners, and players drop like flies every other week. So never a bad idea to have a solid young option who can hold it down well waiting for you on the bench. Far from perfect, but if he can clean up the technique, add some strength, and be more accurate with his hands, then you're looking at a long-term piece for this line. If I'm the Niners, I can go a lot of ways, but if it's up to me, I'm going Blake Miller at 27. And with the 28th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Emmanuel Pregnon. This one might be a diabolical reach, but no one truly knows how the boards will fall. When there's a position of need, you take the best player available who tackles said need. Who knows if he'll be there 10 picks later? You can tell yourself he might. But I'd hate to play the waiting game when we need the position filled now. This O-line already sucks, and if they can't find a guard, it's only going to get worse. I wanted him to go guard last year, preferably Zabel, but at that point, he was already gone, so once again, I'm mocking them yet another guard. And if it isn't a guard and someone like Proctor falls, then it'll be that. All I know is they go someone to help out this front. Texans go Pregnon 28. And with the 29th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Jeremiah McCoy. No need really for a long explanation, it's pretty simple. Rams robbed us for everything we were worth. Chiefs need corner help. The best corner when healthy, keyword when, because nobody knows how the guy is going to look. He hasn't played since January of 2025. Falls to the kingdom at 29, who could develop and produce top dollar corners like it was a candy factory, and you don't expect them to look his way at this pick. I mean, if he's there, they're gonna consider it. Hell, we might even go Delane early. Brandon Cisse, Terrell, even Colton Hood, but I think there's a real chance if McCoy falls this low, they're taking him. And if so, they kill two top needs within a single round with probably the best selections for both positions. Do I know how he's going to play post-injury? No, not really, but I'd be willing to throw him in a system like ours and watch him get to work. Chiefs go McCoy at 29. The 30th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Avion Terrell. Every time I look at this team, I feel so damn sorry. I mean, the more and more you just look at it, it's like, shit, they need so much help. In Miami, man, I mean, they got so many holes. You generally feel bad for what the year's about to look like if nothing gets done. Although the main goal is tanking, I think they got it on lock. But fuck, I mean, when we said blow it up, we didn't mean straight to dust. They're taking the long route, so with that, your secondary needs a new identity. Cornerbacks they have listed all sound generated and completely made up, making this one of the worst secondaries to view on paper. They could prove me wrong, but as of now, I don't even know who the hell any of these guys are. And I find it hard to believe they're actually going to be a threat for anyone to face. They got Lemon earlier instead of someone like Delane, so with limited choices on the board at 30, I have them going Avion Terrell to finally fix this secondary. If the name sounds familiar for those who don't know, his brother is AJ Terrell, another first rounder who's killing in the league. And like his brother, he's very effective in press coverage. He's smooth, fast, stays glued to receivers, and makes every catch a fight. Also throwing in his willingness to fly downhill and deliver a big hit. Easily the corner of defense like this can use. Not only to clean up the problems they have now, but with the high upside he brings and the potential to grow into something more. Either he works, Colton Hood be great, Cisse, even Chris Johnson, they want to bring him all the way up here. Doesn't matter to me. I just know they need a corner, and by getting Waddle's replacement at the start of the round, they finish at addressing the main need before the Waddle trade. Dolphins go corner number 30. And at the 31st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, New England Patriots select Denzel Boston. This might come as a shocker to some because, the Patriots made a big move in free agency signing Romeo Doubs, a very expensive move at that too. But let's not act like that suddenly fixes everything. You could pay a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1 money, doesn't make the guy a wide receiver 1. No disrespect to Doubs, he's a great choice at minimum, but pairing him up with a wide receiver 1 would do wonders for this offense. I think he's great, but I just don't think he's the final answer to be like, oh yeah, we have the true X factor for this offense. Like, I like the move, but I would love it a lot more getting the right prospect to complement him with this core. And that's why I had the Patriots snagging Boston here at 31. Big frame, strong hands, and just knows how to win tough catches. When that ball's coming his direction, he's going up, he's grabbing it, and he's coming down with it more often than not. The numbers back it up too. Boston barely drops anything and thrives in contested situations. This is huge, especially for May, who's going to need some reliable hands this upcoming season. He's coming off a strong season, putting up solid production at Washington with Damon Williams, creating chunk plays and showing he can be a real factor for just about any offense that needs a big body target who can move the chains. This is not someone you ignore at pick 31. Even if you believe Dobbs is your wide receiver 1, if the right guy is sitting here, I couldn't care who the hell I just signed. It's the best player available, and it so happens it's for a position I'm still in need of. Originally, I had him falling to Denver, but with the Miami trade, looks like it's New England's lucky day. Patriots get a giant steal here at 31 with Denzel Boston. And with the 32nd overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft to close out the first round, the Super Bowl champions Seattle Seahawks select Brandon Cisse. At 32, I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm leaning more to the Seahawks trading out than actually making a selection. For the chance they don't, they can do a lot here. I've seen cornerbacks, defensive tackles, safety, edge rushers, running back, which would absolutely blow my mind smooth off if they actually take Jadarian Price here at 32. Just because, no! Look, the loss of Walker sucks. I understand it. You want somebody to go next to Charbonnet. I get it. But taking a future second string backup with a first rounder that could probably you can get somewhere day 2 is just really rich to think about. It's like drafting a quarterback you know is going to be a backup with no intentions of ever really being the guy with a first round pick. Like, you don't think if he was actually a first rounder, teams that are in need of a running back would not look his direction. There's a reason after Jeremiyah Love they say there's a drop off. There's a reason they don't view him this high to begin with. They know at best you can get him day 2 and he'll still be solid. Still a great talent, do not get me wrong, but he is not first round worthy. He's going to end up being somebody's too, so if you really want him, I mean, trade out and go get him around the 40. But if no one's offering to come up, I'm not going to overthink it. Like I said in the first video, just take Brandon Cisse and keep building up the secondary. He's long, athletic, versatile as hell, and brings that same type of upside they've hit on before. Just stick to what works. Not to mention he's also from South Carolina and they know a thing or two about talent from the Gamecocks. So no trade, go cornerback, or even defensive tackle at worst. Trade and I don't know, worry about it later on. You're the Super Bowl champions with a roster that still screams contention. So no matter what happens here, the team's still in amazing shape. Seahawks go Cisse at 32 to close out the first round. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching another random recap. I really hope you did enjoy this mock draft. This is probably the last mock draft I'm going to be doing until either the week of the draft or unless some major trade happens. I just can't be one of those channels that just pop them out every week. I don't know how they do it. This took me a whole damn week to make itself, and some people can just do it daily. But yeah, I plan for the next video to go back to the draft class, either doing edge rushers, running backs, cornerbacks, whichever you would like me to do. Please comment down below what you want to see. I really hope you did enjoy the video, and with all of that being said, I will see you all in the next random recap.